let's go through the effort of acknowledging those that played a large part in our success today. As I start off before, prematurely, but from on the federal government side, Dan Liftman, if you can come up, please, represents Alcee Hastings.
Well, I'm very glad to be here today. The Congressman will be thrilled. This is wonderful to have this beautiful, remarkable new home for the seniors. Congressman Hastings loves everybody in the district. He has served you over now 27 years. He always has at the front of his mind the youngest, the oldest, the poor, the disabled. He's your congressman. He loves you. And he's not going anywhere. He's going to be right there in Washington and continue serving you with everything he's got. He loves you. Thank you.
For the state of Florida, representing Senator Bobby Powell, Diane Jean-Baptiste.
Hi, good morning. The senator is away in Tallahassee for legislative session, but this project is one that is very near and dear to him. Affordable housing continues to plague the citizens of this city, and we have to chip away at it one project at a time. On behalf of the senator, congratulations and welcome to the neighborhood.
Representative Al Jaquette.
Good morning, everyone. Kesnel Theus, Legislative Aide to State Representative Al Jaquette. The representative, too, is away for the 60-day legislative session, but he wanted for me to send his regards and to thank the city manager, to thank the city commission, the housing authority, and again, congratulations, and to keep up the great work. Thank you.
Representing the Palm Beach County Board of Commissioners, former County Mayor Priscilla Taylor.
Well, good morning. It is certainly my honor to be here today to congratulate the Riviera Beach Housing Authority and everyone who was serving during the time that this project was being built. You know, I can remember when I was serving in the Florida House of Representatives, and you know, whenever you're in these offices, the purpose of being there is to try to get the monies that you need in the community. That was certainly something that we needed here in Riviera Beach. And I'm so proud that me and my staff at that time worked to bring the money here to help projects like this. You should be so proud of this project. And I just congratulate you on what you have done for the city of Riviera Beach. Thank you.
The current Commissioner, Mac Bernard, and representing him, Darren Romulus.
Thank you, Scott. Good morning, everyone. Isn't it great to be here? The weather came, it's cool. Actually, Commissioner Bernard is on his way to Jacksonville and for Leadership Florida. You were here during the groundbreaking ceremony. We are here now during the opening of Heron Estates and looking forward to the second phase of Heron Estates. I don't want to ruin it for you. Okay, not a problem. Commissioner Bernard sends his regards to everyone. He understands that housing is a priority. Palm Beach County being a 1.5 million resident community, and as he completed his tenure in 2019 as mayor, he pushed that agenda in terms of addressing housing for all. We understand that in Riviera Beach, that the average rental is about $1,200. And housing prices in Palm Beach County averages about $300,000. So there is a major housing gap, and we're looking forward to filling that. We thank the Housing Authority for putting this together and all the agencies that work together in regards to putting this project here in Riviera Beach. Thank you to the commissioners, and Scott, we appreciate it.
No, thank you. Appreciate that. Representing the Palm Beach County Housing Finance Authority, Executive Director David Brandt. David's not with us today. Again, without their help, they were instrumental in helping us with the bond financing for the financing of the construction and permanent financing for Heron Senior. So big shout out to them. Palm Beach County Department of Housing and Economic Sustainability Director, Jonathan Brown. Right. Next on our list, we're going to recognize a couple of the developers that were key for Housing Trust Group. Without their efforts and perseverance, again, it would be very challenging to accomplish what we have today. Vice President of Development, Jason Larson. Come on up, Jason. VP of Development, Brian Finney, wasn't able to make it today, but also very, very impactful with our efforts. Please.
All right, well, listen, I want to thank everyone for coming out. I think the first meeting we had with the Housing Authority on potentially developing this was January of 2015. So, it's been 5 years. It's gone by fast, but it's just a matter of getting up every day and making a little bit of effort towards your goal, and eventually we can realize it. So thank you very much, and I think it turned out great, and I want to thank the Housing Authority and the City of Riviera Beach for all their support. Thank you.
Representing Gulf Builders, the general contractor for the construction of Heron Senior, Eric Esquila.
There's three major milestones in the life of a project. There is the groundbreaking, which is a celebration of the developers, the design team, their co-developers, and everything that made the project come to fruition. During the course of the project, the next major milestone is the topping off ceremony. That is a celebration for the hardworking men and women that built this beautiful facility. Part of our team that made that come through was our local teaming partners, Alphonse Newbold from Newbold Construction and Dwayne Randolph from Randolph Construction, our local teaming partners. The third major milestone is where we are today, and that is the grand opening. That is a celebration of the end users, the stakeholders for this project, and the residents of this beautiful facility. We look forward to the next phase and continuing our relationship with the city and HTG. Thank you very much.
Representing Housing Trust Group's management company, if I can have Anthony Poland, Nejma Kennedy, Kushbu. Could you come up here, please? With our developments with affordable housing, it's a strong effort to get not only to a TCO where we can actually move residents in, but we need to have the staff in place to be able to effectuate that and to be able to do it in a short period of time. The clock is always ticking with our developments. And I would tell you that this staff that we have here, Anthony leading the charge as manager, did an outstanding job. So all three, Kushbu, who is our regional, and Nejma is our assistant manager, fantastic team. Couldn't be happier. Thank you all. push. If I can also call up Tammy Haylock Moore. Tammy represents JP Morgan Chase, who's our construction and permanent finance lender. She's been participating in several of our communities and really instrumental in our success. Please.
Thank you. This is a surprise. I just want to thank everyone here. When it comes to the affordable side of our business, we take it very seriously. We try to get involved from all aspects of the community. We have a Chase Bank that's right down the street. We bring them in all the time, try to get them to volunteer. So whenever you all are having events here that you really need a lot of hands to help, please reach out to us, because that's really what drives us, the relationship, the community, and revitalizing areas like this that is in so much need. And I look forward to participating in phase 2 as well. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Here you go. Tammy. Okay. You get it. And real quick, I do not believe we are represented by CREA, our investment limited partner. Again, another member of our team is very active with a lot of our communities. They are the purchasers of our tax credits. Do we have a representative from CREA here? Jason?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Okay. As well, so the investment limited partner, again, is our partner and instrumental. Will also play a role in phase 2, and which was already been spoken about, and we'll talk a little bit at the closing remarks. But as we continue some of the thanks for the great team, we have David Lawrence, who's our architect, please. Care to, any remarks? Please.
I'll make it quick. We're very proud of this one. We worked very hard on it. We had a great team, great construction company, and it's wonderful to see those renderings turn into reality, and we're very happy to be part of this. Thank you.
I want to shout out to our engineer, the Wantman Group, Christina Stiles with the interior decorating, and Legal Stearns Weaver that kind of rounds out part of most of our team. Also need to give thanks to Florida Housing Finance Corp. Without them, affordable housing development in Florida would not be possible. They do a tremendous job. They are the issuers in this case of different levels of financing. One would be the 4% tax credits, and also a sale and ELI loan, which again, without that, we would not be able to finish or complete this beautiful building. With that, let's move on to introducing the Riviera Beach Housing Authority, and I'd like to bring up the board chairman, Mr. Jeffrey Jackson.
Thank you. I want to say thank you to everyone for coming out to this wonderful event today. It took a long time getting here, but here we are. I want to give a special thanks to our event partners, the ladies from Sophisticated Out Loud. Make you wave. There they are in the back. I also want to give a special thank you to Marion Dozier from TYS Media. Thank you. Where are you, Marion? We want to extend a special welcome and hello to and show appreciation for our elected officials who took off to be here today. We appreciate you for your service and dedication and all that you do. I want to move forward now by bringing up someone who has been a godsend in my life, and certainly a godsend to this area. We call him our very own Superman. He's none other than the great John Hurt. John is gonna show some appreciation to some of the people who helped us along the way. We could not get this far without the help of those that John will call on.
Thank you, Chairman Jackson. At this point in time, we would like to take time to acknowledge our former and present board commissioners. These have been servants of the community that's taken their time over these past 8, 9 years to attend meetings, to add their energy and their intellect to develop policies and procedures and input for this housing authority to be able to move along to facilitate the construction of this building. I really want you to understand, the dedication that it takes to come to meetings on a weekly and monthly and yearly basis and spend many hours with no compensation and no pay. And over the years, we've had many commissioners serve, and I'd like to start by acknowledging those former commissioners that have served during my tenure here. First of all, the former chairman of the board, Mr. Juan Atkins. I'm not sure whether he's present or not. He's a member of the community and runs a daycare currently in the community, and probably could not get away at this time. Secondly, I would like to introduce Mr. Art Cobb. Mr. Cobb has spent many, many hours dedicated to this project.
Thanks, Mr. Heron. God is my rock. This building stands, which is known as Heron Estates, on this precious rock, and it will stand forever. Good morning to everyone. My name is Artis Cobb Jr. I'm proud to be a retired Riviera Beach City employee. And as Mr. Evans smiled, I am proud. I'll say it again. It's meant everything to me and my future. I am a Riviera Beach former resident. I retired in 2009. In 2009, I made one phone call, and that was to Mayor Masters. I don't know whether the mayor is here today. And that phone call was to say that I was ready to be appointed to the Riviera Beach Housing Authority. There I spent 10 years, 6 as a member, 6, 7 of my 10 years as the chairperson. You're correct, Elder Till. Every day for 9 years, I came to this sacred facility. Before I went to church on Sunday, I came and prayed about the success of this venture. I cannot say enough today, and Mr. Hurt, you know not to turn the mic over to me, because when it comes to talking about affordable housing, that could go on all day long. My commitment to affordable housing. But if it wasn't for John Hurt, we wouldn't be here today. Every day he traveled to this facility as a part-time employee. He only had one employee in Marion Dozier, and myself as a full-time. I committed myself full-time to this venture. Again, thanks, Mr. Hertz. Thanks, Chair Jackson. Thanks for the hard work.
Before you go, Commissioner Cobb, we just like to give you this plaque that we wanted to give you on your departure for your years of service to this housing authority, both day and night, and the many hours that you and I spent together. and you deserve this and much, much more for your service, sir. Thank you. I also like to acknowledge Rance Gady, who served on our board. Rance could not be here today, but we did want to acknowledge him. Next is former Commissioner Rodney Roberts, Jr. I hope he's still here. Rodney served on our board many an evening and challenged this board to do good and things for the community.
Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Awesome, awesome. It's a blessed day to be here, a blessed day to be alive, and I hope that everybody appreciates that. And inside this building, hey, beautiful things come to everybody get together. Somebody, did Emma make the, okay. Oh, you gonna mention her? All right, because Emma passed, and then the mayor thought fit for me to serve in her stead, after she passed, and I didn't see it, so yeah, bless her. I'm here to, just like you guys are, and in celebration of this beautiful building that has come to fruition, and what we're doing for our elderly, and hopefully we'll continue to do more for our persons that cannot afford safe, decent, affordable housing if it wasn't for our help. All right, let's go.
Thank you, Commissioner. Once again, before you go, we had a plaque to thank you for your service on the board that we didn't have the opportunity to present to you before.
Now, y'all know, if you've ever received a plaque or something, the more stuff that you get, the more stuff you're responsible for. You got to find places for it. Stuff. You couldn't email it to me.
Thank you, Commissioner. Miss you.
We don't want you to be responsible for this.
And last of the former commissioners that we'd like to recognize at this time is the chairman of the board who was here, part of the team that was kind enough to hire me for this position. And he's well known in the community, Mr. J. Jerome Taylor.
At the end of the rainbow, there's a pot of gold. At the end of the story, it's been told. I came here in 2008, fresh out of bankruptcy. It wasn't nothing here. Me and Warren Atkins, he was the chairman, I was the vice chairman. They called him to fix the school, so I rose to be the chairman. I brought John Hurt here. From Ohio. Brought him here. He's been here ever since. He say, you all don't pay enough money. I say, well, do a little work. So I'm here, and John, you did a good job. This is 2008, this is what? Do the math. It's 11 years in the making. I brought our Cobb here. Where's Delvin? I brought Delvin here. I brought everybody here. I was the lone man standing. So I'm here. And I'm a resident here. So that's it. Hey, you did good.
Hold on. Thank you. Those are some of the former commissioners that can be present. I'd just like to acknowledge there were 2 other commissioners that served very faithfully to this board that has passed. As Commissioner Roberts had indicated, There was former Commissioner Emma Bates, who's well known in this community, who served on our board. Unfortunately, she passed. And also, many of you know Mr. Ronald Leonard. He was an educator in this community for a long time, served faithfully on our board, who also passed. And we'd just like to acknowledge their work and their dedication. At this time, I'd like to recognize our board attorney. During my tenure here, we've had two. One, when I came, was Lynn Solomon. She served as our board attorney for a few years. Unfortunately, she could not be here today. And we currently have a well-known member of this community as our board attorney, Mr. Matthew C. Russell. And wish you to come forward.
Good morning, everyone. It's an honor being here, and I want to say to you that it's really been a pleasure working with this board. Some of you will understand what I'm about to say about the reluctance to want to adhere to Robert's Rules of Procedure. And so at the outset, we had some fights, some real wars. But I want to say to you that I stand here today saying I'm proud of this board, and I invite you to come to any of our board meetings, and you will be very, very proud to see how well our commissioners conduct themselves in the business. Thanks to Mr. Hurt, an outstanding executive director, fine new chairperson that we have for the board, and recognizing all of the persons who've made contributions to this accomplishment. It's great being here.
Thank you, Attorney Russell. I'd just like to introduce our current board members who are still serving on a daily basis to continue our efforts, not only on this site, that we yet to develop phase 2, but we're developing other initiatives throughout the city to provide affordable housing, both for rental and home ownership. So this current board is dedicated to that end, and I'd like to begin by introducing Ms. Jessica Thurman. Ms. Thurman is our board member who's highly involved, particularly with our residents, etc.
Good morning. I just want to say thank you all, and it is a privilege and an honor to serve on the Riviera Beach Housing Authority. It is my job to serve the community, and I got to meet maybe could have been 101 residents, and it's just a joy. And I look around this room, and there's a lot of resources. And as I put together resources for the community of Riviera Beach, I want you guys to know that we need to continue to come together and create that village that we need to keep providing affordable housing. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Thurman. Next, I'd like to introduce our current board member, very well known in this community, Mr. Horace Towns.
Good evening, everyone in attendance. I want to be like the Baptist Church and recognize people that's in attendance. Can't forget our city manager, Jonathan Evans, sitting in the second row. The wife of our great mayor in this city, Lady Felder, First Lady, and our port commissioners that have came in. Quickly, Affordable housing is a national crisis, and I want to thank this city and this board. And today I was very adamant about this city, especially this board, getting this kudos because it takes a lot of time. There were a lot of meetings, a lot of press conferences, phone conferences, a lot of travel to get this building built. And oftentimes, people see a building, but they do not know all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. Our chairman, I'm thankful for our chairman that has kept our board intact. The board that we have is unique. I'm very proud of it. I brag about it a lot, especially the newest member who will be up next, who I call the cherry on top, Commissioner Spiritus. With the support of this city, this board can put up more affordable housing. We have to be adamant and see the crisis as what it is. Last off, again, kudos to this board that was proactive about the community that was most impacted, which is our senior community. So this building here should be a blueprint for the rest of the community to honor our citizens and make affordable housing an issue for each city. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Towns. The next commissioner is our former board chairperson. He's not in attendance today, is Mr. Delvin Thomas. And finally, I'd like to introduce our newest member of the board, as Commissioner Towns just said, the cherry on top. He brings a lot of experience in the development of affordable housing around this country, and he's well welcome to our board, Mr. Glenn Spiritus.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to say this has been one of the most wonderful experiences serving with this board. These are the most dedicated people I've ever seen. They do spend a tremendous number of hours traveling, evening, morning, whatever. We have a wonderful chairperson, Mr. Jackson. You're doing a wonderful job, and I'd like to thank you. Mr. Hurd, as our executive director, and all your experience over the years certainly is helping us and will help us do many, many more projects like this. And I'm very excited for the community because I know what you have in store and what we can do. And I think this is just the beginning of many, many more affordable workforce housing, senior housing. And I'd like to thank you for letting me participate in this wonderful, wonderful experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Spiritus. We'd like to continue our acknowledgments, and I'd like to turn this part. I'm sorry, before we turn the program up, don't go, ladies. I'd just like to acknowledge two colleagues of mine that I learned to love since I've been here in Florida. The former Executive Director of the Delray Beach Housing Authority, and the current Executive Director of the West Palm Beach Housing Authority, Ms. Robinson. Thank you, ladies, for coming out. I know you got to get back to work. Thank you, ladies. Appreciate you. Yeah, it snuck out on me. I'd like to turn the next segment of the program back to my chair, Chairman Jeffrey Jackson.
Thank you. Those ladies are doing a great job in their respective cities, and we should certainly try and follow what they're doing. At this time, we want to give thanks and appreciation to the current commissioners and some of the people that have helped us along the way. Former Mayor Thomas Masters, I don't see him here. He's not here. Commissioner former Commissioner Billy Brooks. Please come up. I've had an opportunity to learn so much about the work this young lady has did in this city, and both locally and nationally. And she's gone to D.C. to fight for causes that benefited the citizens of Riviera Beach. And for your service, thank you.
Good morning. And thank you for the appreciation. It's so rare that oftentimes when we leave office, people forget us and forget that we were there when it all began. And I want to thank John for doing that. And he's such a terrific person. I had many opportunities to meet with him. He was so frustrated in the beginning, but you know, he's a man of fortitude, a man of vision. He believed that it would happen, and it did happen, and I just praise you for it. And just before I end, I want to say that the Housing Authority has really come a very long way. I believe that it was my husband, when he was the mayor, actually created the Housing Authority. So looking at where we were then and where we are now, we can just give praises to God for where he has brought us from. So thank you so much.
Judy Davis, who could not be here, we want to thank her for her participation. Terrence T.D. Davis, I don't think Terrence made it in, I don't see him, but we will make sure that he gets his award. Bruce Guyton, he's in the house. Come on up, Bruce. Come up, Bruce. Okay, I'm going to give you that. Bruce. Thank you.
Good morning. I just came to enjoy the grand opening. I wasn't expected to speak, but in any regards, I'd like to congratulate the Housing Authority. You all have done a wonderful job. I was glad to play a small portion in ensuring that the city stepped up to the plate and did what they needed to do to assist the Housing Authority in the time of need. Congratulations and much success in the future.
This time we want to call up Lynn Hubbard. When I came on the board, Ms. Hubbard was on the Housing Commission board, and eventually she was voted into office as a commissioner. So she gave us double the trouble, double help.
He probably meant it the first time, double the trouble. And the only trouble I bring to situations are encouragement. I want to first thank everybody and congratulate everybody on this project. It was a successful project, and anytime that we can provide affordable housing in this day and time, it is a great success. As it was said before, we have to double down now in the area of affordable housing because it has become a rare commodity. For me, serving on the board meant economic development and a quality of life for the residents of Riviera Beach, a quality of life that provided safe and decent housing. I also wanted this project to include local and minority participation because we can build pretty buildings and we can have pretty pictures, but at the end of the day, the economic input, the economic portions that we play, we have to have a viable role in those. So oftentimes we say we want to be at the table so we won't be on the menu. It can't just be that we don't want ourselves to be on the menu. We don't want our community and our residents to be a part of the on the menu. So we want to make sure that every project that we do, at the bottom of every contract that we sign, there is some economic and local participation involved, because if we can't do that for ourselves and our community, we have no business serving just to be intoxicated by the leather on those seats. So for me, that is why I served on the Housing Authority Board, and that was my aim, to make sure that we got an economic part in it, and as well on the council, that this was going to be of economic benefit to us. So again, I congratulate all of the partners, Mr. Hurt, the board, and the residents of Riviera Beach. And thank you so much, Jeff. Thank you.
Don Pardo could not be here, and Cedric Thomas, is he here? I don't see Cedric. Again, we'll make sure that he gets his award. Former Chair Thomas, he has some business to attend to out of town, and he could not, I'm sorry, former Chief. Come on out. We want to have a word from you. Come on out. We weren't, certainly not. We want to thank you for all of your service, and you know, you're a mentor of mine, and I appreciate everything you've done for us and all of the advice, and thank you, and thanks for having the officers over here looking out for the project during its development phase. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Okay.
Continue, sir.
I shall. No, we're current. We're current. At this time, I'm going to address some of the current city officials. I'm going to start with our great mayor, Ronnie Felder, who's not here at the moment, but someone is. Is his assistant here? Miss Felder sitting over there like, you better not call me. So I do want to say Mayor Felder took the ball and he's running with it, and he has pledged his support to us, and anytime we need to have a meeting with him and discuss things, he's always made himself available, and for that we appreciate it. We're looking forward to the future, to a bright future with him. Vice Chair, Ms. Botel, she could not be here today. She has some issues going on that's very unfortunate, but she cannot be here. And Commissioner Shirley Lanier, she's not here as well. Douglas Lawson, I see you in the house. Thanks for coming. Come up.
you, sir. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I just want to thank everyone for this amazing project. I just want to give homage to our former commissioners, because they laid the foundation for us to be able to have this project. As a new elected, my focus is to work with our housing authority and our partners to continue to bring more affordable housing to our community. So residents, we're excited for the future. The future is bright. Thank you. Commission, Housing Authority, thank you.
Roderick McCoy, come up, please.
Good morning. Good morning. What an honor it is to be here. Certainly to see this project come to fruition. But I was in the back thinking about when, not even when I was a toddler, because I probably don't even remember, but I remember when it was Ivy Green and my brother fell out of a window on the second floor here. And I can remember by age 16 reading the news article, but that was my brother. So certainly it's good to see where we are today and where we've come from over the last 30 years, at least that I've known that Ivy Green has been in existence. And you know, I want to respond to one of the comments that former Councilwoman Hubbard said, because certainly there were some big shoes to fill, because I draw so much support off of former council members, Bruce Guyton and also Billy Brooks, who paved the way for persons like myself to be here. And I'm definitely not intoxicated by the leather, because I tell you something, being elected is truly serving. And then, something Dr. King says, anybody can be great because anybody can serve. So thank you, Housing Authority, for serving us with such a wonderful project. Thank you all that paved the way before us, but certainly there's more to do, and I look forward to phase 2. So thank you, and we're here to support, all right? Thank you.
City Manager, Jonathan Evans, will you come up, please? We're so blessed to have the City Manager, Jonathan Evans, do his role in this city as City Manager. He's been a big support to us, and we're looking forward to some bright days in the city.
Thank you so much for everyone being here, and certainly this is such a great project. And more importantly, thank you to each and every one for your participation in making this project come to fruition. As you can see, that it's taken, in some cases, decades, and for some folks may have seemed like a lifetime for this project to come to fruition. But 2020 signifies perfect vision. So in the spirit of perfect vision, I can tell you that the future for the city of Riviera Beach and the partnership with the Housing Authority is going to be perfect. And that we have a lot of opportunities, because affordable housing, workforce housing, is a fundamental human right. And we should advocate on every level, state, local, federal level, to ensure that every resident of this community in Palm Beach County, and the state for that matter, has access to quality, affordable housing. And so thank you for the leadership from the elected officials, past and present, for making sure that this project came to fruition. So on behalf of city administration and the elected officials that could not be here today, you have a long-standing partner that will work diligently to ensure that we do everything in our power to eradicate high-priced homes and people can live here with dignity and live in our community with dignity. Because I've had the opportunity just to look at some of the vehicles in the parking lot, and I see folks that serve this country in the military capacity, nurses, teachers, all those folks that have played a remarkable role in our community. We owe it to them to do everything in our power to ensure that there's access to affordable housing. And the city of Riviera Beach, we will deliver. And if you don't have a pair of sunglasses, you should get some, because the future for this community is going to be very bright.
Thank you. Interim Community Development Director, Jeff Gagnon. Mr. Gagnon, are you here? Yes, he cannot be here. Public Housing Revitalization Specialist, Victor Atkins, from the Department of HUD. Guys, I can tell you now, this deal is not done without that man. Give him a hand.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Elected city officials, Chairman Jackson, my friend and fearless leader, John Hurt, I bring you warm greetings from the Field Office Director of the Miami Field Office and from all of your partners at the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. It would be an understatement to say that I'm honored to be here today, celebrating with you this momentous occasion in the city of Riviera Beach. When I joined the department in 2001 at the Troubled Agency Recovery Center in Memphis, Tennessee, my first assignment was the Riviera Beach Housing Authority. Within 2 weeks of moving to Memphis, I was on a plane to Riviera Beach to conduct initial assessments of its operations. Unfortunately, that led to the agency being taken into receivership, but those reasons are not important today. What is important today is the reality of what we see now. Mr. Juan Miranda, who has since retired, was the team leader of the development team in the Miami field office. I am now that team lead. We've worked tirelessly with John to bring this to fruition. And I say to you, stay the course. Congratulations. We've already approved pre-development expenses for several other projects. We've approved an acquisition and rehabilitation for another project, and we look forward to phase 2. Again, stay the course. I say to you, congratulations on building excellence. Thank you.
Thank you. Mosner Group, President Ronald Davis. Mr. Davis? Guess he's busy. Is Sykes and Gilmore here? Anyone? They did notify us, I'm sorry. Tag and Associate, Senior Associate, Jane Dixon and William Grindle. They cannot be here. Okay, well, Mr. Hurt, let's turn it over to our remarks. And we're going to ask the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Margaret Shepherd to come up. Okay. Okay. Come on up, Ms. Shepherd. I'm going to escort you up here. You want to talk from your seat? No, you come on up. Come on, you know you want to hold my arm. Take your time.
First, let me thank God for all his benefits, for all that he's done for me. I took a terrible fall in March and broke my foot. That's why I'm learning how to move with therapy. So you all bear with me. The doctor said I had scoliosis. I don't claim it. I know one day I will heal. But I'm here to talk about the Riviera Beach Housing Authority. I was the second to the last to move out of here. It was my job that was placed upon me with the residents to make sure their voices were heard. So I called everybody I could, and they came. And I was so glad to see Mr. Atkins, because I remembered him, but I couldn't put his face together. It was different people that came to my rescue to help make a safe move out of the Riviera Beach Housing Authority. It was 51 of us, and there's only 7 of us left. They promised us that we were going to be in this building. Mr. Hurt said it today, and I was shocked, 9 years ago. I live to see the blessings that God has put upon this community because he sent Mr. Hurt. And I tell you, I never met an ED like him. He makes sure, and I must say, this is the best board that ever came along to make this work. I don't care where I go. I could be in the doctor's office in Jupiter, Fort Lauderdale, and hey, Ms. Shepherd. And I said, hey, got to be careful what you're saying hey about. Some people don't like you, and they say hey, and then shoot you. So I'm like, hey. But they all said one thing, Mrs. Shepherd, a great job in the city of Riviera Beach. I said I couldn't do it without my ED. And of course, this young man, it looked like my family. I am so glad that you share your husband with us. I want you to know he takes care of us
like we were his children. Seniors are getting old and they need taken care of. I never knew it till my mom was 95 years old. And now I'm getting up in age, and my daughter, Summer. Raise your hand, Summer. Everybody hear me talking about her. She was born, and my daughter gave it to me at birth. Left and went back to school, and she gave me Summer. I gave it to her, she loaned it to me. And Summer was a product of Riviera Beach. I won't take you long, but she got up at the mic at 4 years old and spoke a piece. And everybody looked at me and I said, I had nothing to do with this. Summer has a mind of her own. But she was here in the Riviera Beach Housing Authority. Once again, Mr. Hurt, I want to thank you. Words cannot express how I feel. I am touched every day. Mr. Hurt, I cry every day. And I ask the Lord, please allow him to stay just a little bit longer. He still have another building to build, and we shall see it again. I want to thank all of you, and may God bless you for coming here to make sure we are safe this seniors. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. City Commission Chairwoman Kashamba Miller, will you come up, please? Miller Anderson. Let me get that right. Miller Anderson.
Good morning. We cannot leave that Anderson off. Good morning, everybody. I just want to say thank you, first of all, to the Housing Authority Commissioners. I know that it's been a long time coming, and I've been fortunate enough to be on the board for the past 5 years to see a lot of it from the beginning, the trials and tribulations that we all went through in trying to make sure that we could get the funding for you, we were able to support you. And I just want to say hats off to you all for sticking through it and making sure that the residents of Riviera Beach had something very affordable, something that they could be proud of when they passed through Congress. I know there were many years ago when I would come out here to Ivy Green, I had many friends that lived over here, and so I spent many a nights over here playing in this area, and then over the past few years, it's just been an open field. So I'm one of the proud residents, as well as the chairperson of the council, to see something beginning here. And I look forward to being able to support you all throughout your next phase. The council that we have now, as well as the past council, because I will say Ms. Lynn Hubbard was very adamant about having affordable housing for our residents. So I know that was a passion of hers when she was on the council and prior to her getting on the council. And so we want to make sure that we continue to have those same sentiments when it comes to making sure that our residents and our seniors, of course, be able to live and have a safe environment and just something to be proud of. So I want to say thank you to all of you, to the residents, to the community members. Thank you all for taking part, as well as the contractors, because I know that when you ride by here, that's something that you could be very proud of when you see your work. So again, I want to say thank you on behalf of the mayor and council, and please enjoy yourselves here, and I look forward to phase 2.
John Hurt. I'm sorry, Mr. Evans. Closing remarks?
Again, this is a proud day in the city of Riviera Beach, and everyone in here had a role to play in this particular project. And so to Mr. Hurt and to the Housing Authority, thank you so much for continuing to fight the good fight. I think there was a lot of obstacles that were in front of each and every one of you as you endeavored to bring this project to life. But I think Ms. Shepard's comments and just raw emotions shows why we do the job that we do. And if her comments don't excite you and motivate you for the next phase of this project and looking to address affordable housing in this community, then you may be in the wrong room, because I think everyone here is committed to delivering on the promise for our seniors, for the promise for those that are working class folks, to deliver on affordable housing. And the city of Riviera Beach has made it a priority in its 2030 vision to build great neighborhoods. And great neighborhoods start with equal access and quality access to a fundamental right, which is affordable housing. So again, thank you all for your effort and your leadership, and we look forward to delivering on more projects like this.
I want to recognize a very special gentleman in the house today. His name is Raymond Wells. Will you stand up a minute, Mr. Wells? We call him, I'm sorry, Mr. Wells. Thank you for all that you do. Mr. Wells was our project site inspector, and he would create these long reports if anything wasn't right, and all of those things that needed to be done. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just want to begin to make some closing remarks so that after this event, we're having an open house where you have the opportunity to see some of the occupied apartments and see some of the finishes of this work. Once again, I'd like to congratulate the Housing Trust Group, Golf Building as our partners in completing this phase one of the redevelopment of this former Ivy Green Village site. This is a tremendous milestone for the Housing Authority and the city of Riviera Beach. This achievement should not be taken for granted, because the effort it takes to complete such an accomplishment, not many communities have been able to do. To accomplish the development of this community takes private and public partnerships in today's environment, because the available funds to housing authorities is just not there anymore. There is no more public housing. All authorities are in the business of doing partnerships and finding other sources of income, sources of finance in order to provide affordable and workforce housing throughout this nation. So it takes many hours, days, weeks, months, and even years of dedication and commitment for these type of realities to come to fruition. For me, to serve the community in this way is a tremendous blessing and adds to the gratification of trying to do good work. Congratulations to all involved, and we look forward to the completion of phase 2, Heron Estates family. I thank you all for coming out today to this grand opening, and God bless.
Thank you, Mr. Hurt. In conclusion, I just want to say again, thank you for coming, and we appreciate all that you all do, and we certainly, again, appreciate for you coming out to this event. But I want to say to the city leaders that we welcome the partnership. We're looking forward to it. And as Mr. Hurt said, you can't get these jobs, this type of work done without a public-private relationship. And we're going to build on that. We've been fortunate. We have people lined up now to do business with us, and we're going to keep lining them up. And we want to rebuild Riviera Beach. And I believe we can with your support. Godspeed. Have a wonderful day. I'm sorry, Scott?
Again, when we reach a point like this, it's really important that we do stop and we acknowledge and we give thanks. Thank you all. It's important to reflect and pat everyone on the back for a job well done for a moment. Work still needs to be done, and we're hopeful that we'll be able to break ground this summer on phase 2. That is the plan, on 79 units of family units. It will be impactful in this area, and again, a lot of work still needs to be done and to effectuate that start. But again, we have a great team, and we will get there. So thank you all for being here, and we are blessed for having great partners in the Housing Authority and everyone here. Thank you, and please enjoy the rest of the food, drink, and please visit the units.